Jersey's fifth round mutual evaluation report by Moneyval has now been published. As a significant international finance centre, the report is a critical document for the reputation of Jersey. This video explains what the results are and what their significance is for Jersey.
The FATF is the body which sets international standards on financial crime prevention. This round of evaluations saw a particular focus on international financial centres. IFCs have come under increased scrutiny for their involvement in complex global transactions, and a number have been added to the FATF grey list with the detrimental impact on their economies. In order to continue to exist as an IFC in 2024, global expectations are changing.
Evaluations provide important recommendations for improvement, and the underlying aim is to build a regime that prevents against harm to society. Behind each suspicion or investigation, there is potential harm to human lives. That is something Jersey feels strongly about preventing, and this is clearly embodied in our national strategy and vision.
Jersey believes you need to create resilient defences, similar to Montorgueil Castle, in order to continue to exist as an IFC. A failure to have these defences in place would cause damage to the reputation and quality of Jersey, but more importantly, would cause harm to society. Jersey's strategy, both for the development of financial services and for prevention against financial crime, is based around a simple principle: the need to maintain and develop ongoing resilience in financial crime prevention to then allow the island's financial and professional services industry to sustainably grow as a responsible IFC.
This is Moneyval's fifth round of mutual evaluations. Jersey was assessed by Moneyval in 2015 and prior to that by the International Monetary Fund. Mutual evaluation reports are the benchmark of the effectiveness of a country's AML-CFT regime. They are read by policymakers and diplomats worldwide to determine how to engage with other countries. Jersey's mutual evaluation report is critical as it sets the tone for our engagement internationally.
Jersey formed a specific Moneyval preparation group in 2022 to directly prepare for the evaluation. However, work to comply with the FATF standards had commenced long before this time under the National Financial Crime Coordination Structure and its predecessor, the Financial Crime Strategy Group. A number of key documents referred to in the report, such as national risk assessments and the national strategy, were worked on for many years before this time.
The first deliverable to Moneyval was a Technical Compliance Questionnaire, or TCQ, which required Jersey to provide information about how we comply with FATF's 40 recommendations. Jersey authorities came together to collate all of the detailed information required in order to demonstrate compliance with the 40 recommendations. The TCQ was submitted on the 27th of March 2023 and comprised 497 pages, supported by 97 reference documents.
The next deliverable was a Mutual Evaluation Questionnaire, or MEQ. In this submission, Jersey had to show how effective we are in respect of 11 immediate outcomes, or IOs. This was done by providing the relevant statistics, as well as detailed examples of how the laws and regulations we have in place have been used in practice. Our MEQ ran to 694 pages and included 329 reference documents.
After the submission of documents, the Jersey authorities prepared for on-site inspection. Regular meetings were held with all agencies in the lead-up to the on-site, and there were a significant number of industry briefings to ensure that the jurisdiction was well prepared for the arrival of the assessment team.
During the on-site visit, the assessment team met with all agencies in Jersey, as well as over 30 entities from the private sector. In total, there were over 75 meetings held over the course of 2 working weeks, and the assessment team also visited various parts of the island. After the completion of the on-site visit, Jersey submitted a further 143 supporting documents to the assessment team.
Between November 2023 and February 2024, Jersey received several drafts of the report, with follow-up questions and points of clarification from the assessment team. A draft was also reviewed by 3 independent reviewers, who were invited to submit comments in respect of technical points, as well as the proposed ratings. A face-to-face meeting was then held between Jersey authorities and the assessment team in Strasbourg in March 2024 to debate outstanding points.
In late May 2024, the Moneyval Working Group meeting and plenary was held in Strasbourg, where the Mutual Evaluation Report was adopted after a number of days of discussion. Delegations from across the world in the Moneyval membership provided comments and contributed to debate on the report, with the final conclusions published in July 2024. We're now going to take you through the outcomes of Jersey's Moneyval evaluation.
FATF ratings operate on a 4-point scoring system. For technical compliance, the scores are non-compliant, partially compliant, largely compliant, and compliant. For effectiveness, immediate outcomes are rated low, moderate, substantial, and high. The expectation of the international community is that countries should look to achieve a high or substantial rating in all immediate outcomes, but no country worldwide has achieved this yet. The ratings indicate the extent to which the IO is achieved and the level of improvements required. For example, a substantial rating means minor improvements are required, whereas a moderate rating indicates major improvements are required. For the technical compliance, Jersey was rated as compliant or largely compliant for 39 out of the 40 recommendations, with only one recommendation rated as partially compliant, this being recommendation 18, which relates to the requirement for every financial institution to have an independent audit function. This is a very good level of technical compliance, and few jurisdictions achieve this level of rating.
We will now go through the effectiveness ratings for each immediate outcome, highlighting a few key points. IO1, assessing risk and coordination. Jersey was rated as having a high level of effectiveness. Notably, Jersey has a strong understanding of its MLTF risks, informed by a variety of sources and risk assessments involving proactive engagement of the private sector. Jersey's 2022 national strategy and agency strategies address those risks and are supported by strong national coordination. Future risk assessments should be enhanced with case studies and good practices for IFCs to identify trends and methods, particularly in relation to the laundering of proceeds of foreign tax crime. IO2, international cooperation. Jersey was rated as having a substantial level of effectiveness. Notably, Jersey is efficient in dealing with mutual legal assistance requests and demonstrates strong commitment to international cooperation. Law enforcement agencies should be more proactive in seeking both formal and informal cooperation, and the FIU should aim to reduce response times. IO3, supervision. Jersey was rated as having a moderate level of effectiveness. Notably, the JFSC has a good understanding of ML risk of those it supervises, and further enhancements to the risk model would be beneficial. Inspections and resources are improving, and the JFSC should consider making more use of full scope and focused examinations or off-site supervisory tools to ensure full coverage of all obligations and sectors. The JFSC's approach to enforcement greatly relies on remedial measures. The imposition of sanctions has been modest, and in the case of financial penalties, minimal, which is not in line with entities' risk profiles and the number and types of breaches. The JFSC should revise the application of its sanctioning regime to consider the guidance criteria and prioritisation of a wider range of proportionate sanctions, including monetary sanctions for severe breaches. IO4, preventative measures. Jersey was rated as having a moderate level of effectiveness. Notably, risk mitigating measures are mostly commensurate to risks. However, in respect of complex structures, the implementation is uneven, with more guidance required. CDD and record-keeping obligations are generally well understood. However, there's a need to ensure that sufficient information is considered to ensure exemptions are applied in low-risk circumstances.
IO5, legal persons and arrangements. Jersey was rated as having a substantial level of effectiveness. A wide range of mitigating measures are in place to prevent against the misuse of legal persons and arrangements, including the establishment of a fully populated central registry for legal persons paired with comprehensive and thorough checks, risk assessment and vetting processes. For trusts, there is a reliance on the TCSP sector as gatekeeper and as a source of risk mitigation and availability of information. TCSP's compliance with AML-CFT obligations, where there are only some non-systematic shortcomings, impacts the accuracy of BO information. Supervisory actions conducted in relation to TCSPs have so far uncovered few shortcomings in this regard, and sanctions have not been used for more serious breaches, such as cases of BO concealment. IO6, Financial Intelligence. Jersey was rated as having a moderate level of effectiveness. Notably, good progress made in addressing recommendations from the 2015 report, but Financial Intelligence Unit transformation process needs to continue. SAR submissions are generally aligned with risk, although some defensive reporting takes place. Improved feedback and additional guidance is required. IO7, Money Laundering Investigation and Prosecution. Jersey was rated as having a moderate level of effectiveness. Notably, the legal framework and structures allow for effective identification and investigation of money laundering cases in line with risk, but subsequent prosecution and convictions are rare. Effort and resources need to continue to be committed towards large-scale money laundering cases in order to bring cases to the point of prosecution. IO8, Confiscation. Jersey was rated as having a substantial level of effectiveness. Notably, the use of confiscation powers is generally good and aligned with the jurisdiction's profile. There is a need to enhance efforts to increase seizure and confiscation for money laundering offences and from tax offences committed abroad.
IO9, Investigation and Prosecution of Terrorist Financing. Jersey was rated as having a substantial level of effectiveness. Notably, our legal and institutional framework for combating terrorist financing was recognised as being sound. The key action going forward will be to analyse SAR reporting on TF suspicion and provide more training and guidance to industry to increase awareness. IO10, Non-profit organisations and terrorist financing targeted financial sanctions. Jersey was rated as having a substantial level of effectiveness. Notably, Jersey has a comprehensive legal framework in place which ensures direct applicability of relevant UNSCRs covering TF-related TFS. For MPOs, the risk-based supervisory oversight measures should be fully implemented. IO11, Proliferation Financing Targeted Financial Sanctions. Jersey was rated as having a substantial level of effectiveness. Notably, obliged entities are generally well aware of their TFS obligations. However, they don't always make a distinction between PF and TF-related TFS. The key action will be to provide sector-tailored guidance to industry so that they are able to distinguish between the two.
Overall, the report recognises there are a number of priority actions for Jersey to address. Supervision, preventative measures, financial intelligence, and investigation and prosecution have all been rated moderate. The high-level action plan looks to address all of these findings on a prioritised basis.
Importantly though, no low ratings, meaning no fundamental deficiencies in our regime. For immediate outcome 1, Jersey joins a unique group of only 3 jurisdictions in the world, or 0.6% of countries assessed, with a high rating. Our strategy of understanding the risks in the complex range of financial services in an IFC like Jersey is working. Despite a relatively high inherent risk of money laundering, due to the type of business we conduct, in the global financial system, Jersey is therefore likely to become part of the solution to identifying financial crime rather than the problem.
Jersey also becomes the top-rated non-FATF country globally for compliance with the FATF standards, confirming our long-term commitment is demonstrated by ongoing assessment. Some changes made in Jersey were very important to the outcome. The changes made to the structure and resources of the FIU and ECU were critical. In respect of exemptions, their removal was fundamental to the overall result. The timing of the removal of exemptions, and some left temporarily in place, have impacted the report, but had they not been removed, several areas would have been significantly more negative.
Overall, the report is very positive for Jersey. It confirms our planning and our strategy and goes a long way to confirming our national vision, namely that Jersey is a responsible and cooperative international financial centre, supporting legitimate growth and prosperity.
The recommendations from the Moneyval report very much match with our future plans for the Law Officers Department. The recommendations in general basically concern continuing with the work that we're already doing, which of course we will do, and also keeping under constant review the mechanisms that we have in this area, and it may well be that we will seek to improve those mechanisms again in the future. The report aligns well with our plans as the Law Officers Department, but I think the main message from the report is that as an island we need to approach this as a joined up exercise and that we tackle financial crime together.
So my top priority, and indeed that's also reflected in the policing plan for 2024, is to ensure that the JFCU is properly resourced with the right people and with the right skills so that we continue with the good work that they've already done. Of course, another very, very important recommendation is that we continue with the collaboration and the partnerships that we've built over the last 4 or 5 years or so. I think that's vitally important and a vitally important recommendation. How this island has come together to deliver the results that we've seen today and how we can improve again into the future is enormously important.
It's no longer sufficient just to say that we do something well. We must be able to demonstrate it to the assessors. Using data to illustrate effectiveness is critical. We supported the Government of Jersey to implement the legislation which enabled Jersey to align with the FATF standards. This included enhancing guidance for industry, organisational changes to reflect the risk, and enhancing how we collect and analyse data. Our enhanced approach is now very much part of business as usual.
When I look at the recommended actions involving the FIU, I bracket them into 5 particular areas. Firstly, delivering on our already implemented transformation plan. Then, growing strategic analysis, which is relevant across numerous immediate outcomes. And I think strategic analysis is the one area that will help to define the FIU in the future. And we will work hard upon our training, on our technology, sources and approach to ensure that that is relevant for an IFC and relevant for Jersey. Also improving operational analysis, and this also involves training and capability and technology enhancements. Streamlining intelligence processing improvements, and we are driving this in terms of our transformation approach on our process. So the assessment team, I think, provide a fair interpretation, and I also believe we are already addressing many of their points, and we have a very strong plan to continue to do so on our transformation journey.
The publication of the 2024 Moneyval report represents a significant milestone for Jersey as an international financial centre. Whilst not our first international evaluation, this is the first time that the effectiveness of our regime for combating financial crime has been independently tested. And we have done well. The assessment concludes that our system is generally effective. In some areas, it is very effective. I would like to thank everyone involved in this long-running and intensive process. I know how hard you have all worked, and it has been our collective effort in combating financial crime together that has delivered this result. This report provides independent confirmation to both the local and international community that Jersey is a well-regulated and resilient IFC. Importantly, the report endorses our national financial crime strategy and makes recommendations for improving our system. We will address those recommendations in a proportionate and reasonable manner and through proper consultation with industry. So today, Jersey should celebrate its strength as a responsible international finance centre which places the importance of fighting financial crime alongside our strengthened ambition for growth. We can all have confidence that we remain a long-term force for good in financial services and in the world.